Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. Today I've borrowed this 2021 Nissan Sentra SR from my friends at Holmes Honda here in Shreveport, Louisiana. Yes, this is a used model we're going to be taking a look at today. But if you're wondering, what is the difference between a 2021 Sentra and a 2022? Not much. Basically, it's going to be the same vehicle with some minor changes to available features. The Nissan Sentra features a comfortable ride, improved cabin materials and design for the 2021 model year, and a multitude of standard safety and technical features. For 2021, what was new was Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are now standard on all trim levels. Wi-Fi hotspot and remote services are available on the top trim levels, and this is part of the 8th generation of the Nissan Sentra. And just taking a quick look around the Sentra, you're going to notice, of course, you got those fog lights down there on the lower portion of the bumper, and a very nicely designed front end, very large grille right there with the Nissan logo in the center. You're going to find safety features such as forward collision warning, lane departure warning. You're going to have blind spot monitoring, all that good stuff. And a common question, it's so funny how I get this, I always have to address this: do the side view mirrors have turn signal indicators built in? Of course, I don't have to answer that question because you can see those right there. They are power side view mirrors, but not power folding side view mirrors, but you can manually fold those mirrors in. Those are 18-inch alloy wheels wrapped in 215/45 tires. A quick look at the remote for this vehicle. Everything you would expect to see here, most likely. You do have remote start, which always is a great convenience. Under the hood is the 2-liter 4-cylinder. Makes 149 horsepower and 146 pound-feet of torque. And while a lot of people are going to say, man, that's way underpowered, the advantage to that is going to be the MPGs. 29 miles per gallon city estimated, 37 out on the highway. That's going to bring everything to a combined total of 32 miles per gallon. Front-wheel drive, and power is ultimately put to the ground through a single-speed CVT or continuously variable transmission. And as we work our way into the rear cargo area here inside the trunk, we'll take a quick look at the rear spoiler here on the back of the Sentra. A little bit of sportiness right there. And let's open the trunk here. 14.3 cubic feet in cargo space. And of course, you can maximize your cargo space. We'll just do this on one side. But right here, you're just going to pull up on that, and then of course you can let the seats down if you want to. And one thing that I know everybody's going to ask about, if you don't already know, is there a spare tire? Yes, there is. So no tire repair kit in the case of this Sentra. And as we work our way into the back seat, into the interior for the first time, taking a quick look here at the door panel, going to have the door bin right there, and you have some contrast stitching here, just a little bit of effect there, so to speak. Even a little bit more down here on the seat itself. You're going to have that fold down armrest with the cup holders built in. And the interior here not being that big, I don't think it's a big deal that you don't have any air conditioning vents built into the rear of the console here. And you do have the singular, the one USB port right there, but obviously you could buy an adapter to turn that into 2 if you wanted to do so. Working our way into the front seat through the passenger side door, have a little bit larger door bin here, more of that contrast stitching. One thing here on the SR trim level, you will find adjustable seats, but they are manually adjustable in this case. Let's take a look at what kind of space we have here in the center, or excuse me, this isn't the center console, this is the glove box. Try to get that right. But as you can see, a decent amount of space in there as you would expect. And a little more contrast stitching just kind of to set things off, give it this model a little more of a sporty look. Taking a look at the cloth on the interior here as far as the seats go. And one thing I do like here is that the contrast stitching continues its way all the way here onto the lid of the console. Kind of a nice little effect there, at least in my personal opinion. And we'll work our way into the driver's seat where the real action takes place. I don't know if you'd say action in a Sentra, so to speak, but Got that Sentra logo there on the door sill. Just taking a quick look at what you have. Again, everything here is manually adjustable, including the steering wheel. You can see the release right there for the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. You have eco mode. That's how you're going to activate that if you want to drive in eco mode. And of course, let's hop in here into the driver's seat. With the remote, you do not have a key. You are going to have push button start right here for the engine. Just to give a quick look at what happens here on the dashboard when this model fires up. I don't know if that's the right terminology to use on a car that makes 149 horsepower. Firing it up. And there is one of the most unused options on a vehicle. They're standard, but if you wouldn't believe that, you might not, based on the way people drive. It's called a blinker lever or the turn signal lever. Hear that sound and see that blinking arrow? When you're turning to the right or changing lanes to the right, you let people know what's going on around you by pushing that lever into the up position, and the same thing applies when you're going to the left. You push it into the down position. Of course, you'll also control the functionality of your headlights right there. And I can't really say anything as sarcastic about the functionality with the lever here for controlling everything to do with the windshield wipers. Of course, you're going to have the steering wheel mounted controls. You're going to have voice commands and all that good stuff right there. Steering wheel is comfortable. And we'll take a quick look here at the infotainment screen, as you can see. And obviously, for those who may not know, I had somebody actually ask me recently if a vehicle had a rear view camera. Anything 2020 and newer is required to have a rear view camera here in the United States of America, at least. And just to show you a little bit of what's here as far as the infotainment screen goes, I'm not going to go over that too much. There is a decent amount here as far as functionality goes and different options and features that you have. You do have dual zone climate control. I talked about the fact that there is not any air conditioning vents in the rear seat area, but still dual zone climate control here. More connectivity down here. If you had wireless charging, it would be located in this area. There is the shifter. For those of you who are not fans of push button shifters in your vehicles, well, here's a good option for you. And those cup holders right there, of course. And let's open up the center console. Actually, a reasonable amount of space in there to fit your Vehicle Visionary t-shirts. Yep, the link for those is down in the description, and I appreciate your support. And let's not forget the bottle test. There is room to spare right here. As you can see, my standard size water bottle doesn't fit perfectly in here. And that's good news if you plan to have something larger, a large coffee cup, a big gulp, whatever you may use. At least you kind of know what's here. And no, I didn't forget the bottle test for the rear cup holders. Also kind of a similar situation here. The bottle isn't going to fit perfectly in there, but that's okay because at least it gives you additional space depending on what your rear seat passengers wish to drink. As we get out on the road for the test drive, I can talk about it, but I can't really demonstrate it right now. But a lot of people talk about how sluggish the acceleration is in this model. And the reason I say I can't demonstrate it at the moment is because of this truck in front of us that's currently doing about 12 miles per hour under the speed limit for some unknown reason. Maybe they're looking at their phone or who knows. So as soon as we get a chance, we'll see about accelerating around them. But the thing I have to definitely give high marks on with this Sentra is the fact that the ride quality is superb. Very smooth, enjoyable ride. Getting a little bit of road noise, but it's not terribly bad. And considering the fact that we have the ultimate test track for shocks, suspension, and, well, ultimately road noise here in Northwest Louisiana, I have a really good way to demonstrate this. And so hopefully we'll be able to get around this slowpoke in just a second. I wish he'd figure out that his gas pedal is on the right-hand side of the floorboard, but now that we have a safe place to get around him, let's do it. So accelerating, well, it's not exactly plant you in the seat kind of horsepower at 149, but when you need to accelerate around, say, people who don't realize what the speed limit is, or maybe they're still searching for the location of their gas pedal, you can get around them very easily. I was at about half throttle, or had the gas pedal about halfway to the floor in that particular case, and had absolutely no problem accelerating up to a speed enough to get around that slower moving truck back there. And something that I like to make mention of it may not mean much until you hop into a car where there's a lack of balance with the brake pedal. And what I mean by that is that the brake pedal is either overly aggressive or not, or it's really soft. Had to touch the brake just a little bit because of this car that just pulled out here. I know they used their blinker, but they could have waited for me to pass, but oh well. Now we're driving under the speed limit again because of this person, but it is what it is. But I like the balance of the brake pedal. It feels good. It's very responsive to the touch of your foot. And another thing that I like here is the steering. The steering is very comfortable. It's responsive. I'm not going to go as far as to say that it's sports car-like, but it's actually very responsive to your touch. You don't have a lot of play in the steering wheel like you do sometimes. It just, I don't know, it just feels right. It feels like you're in control, so to speak. Sometimes you drive vehicles where that may not be the case. You may not feel so much that way. But ultimately, here is a good conclusion. I'm really impressed with the overall driving experience. Could it use more horsepower? Well, yeah, it could. But if you're looking for a vehicle that's going to save you money on gas, but still get you down the road with absolutely no problem, at least based on my experiences in today's test drive, well, the 2-liter under the hood of this Sentra will definitely do that. And that's a quick tour of the 2021 and basically 2022 version of the Nissan Sentra SR. Gotta say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this model for the day, and of course to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out another of the videos that's right over here on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.